Hello and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine and I will be reading to you from the Tarot Illuminati today. I've just completed a review of the deck Tarot Illuminati, so if you're interested in seeing all of the cards, I will put a link to that in the description box below. So I'm going to use a spread that Kim Huggins has included in her book, Complete Guide to the Tarot Illuminati, and this is called the Planetary Spread. So we're going to look at the situations in life from the points of view of the 7 visible planets from Earth. And that includes the sun and the moon, not just planets, but back in the ancient times, the wandering stars, or what they were called. That's what planeta means. Anyway, let us read. All right, we're going to start out with kind of what's coming to a close with Saturn. Saturn is about time. It's about endings. It's about structure, karmic return. 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. So there's a certain amount of disappointment, perhaps some disillusionment, and that should be coming to an end. So the 5 of Cups, let's look at this a little closer. 5 of Cups here. You can see that 3 cups are overturned, but 2 cups still remain. So while things are perhaps disappointing or disillusioning, it's not the end of everything. There's still a cup for each hand to be picking up and moving on with. So let's not linger in this disappointment too much. And as a karmic return, it may be a disappointment you were expecting. It may have been one that you wanted, ironically enough. Something you wanted to end, even though it was bittersweet. Or perhaps just bitter. Yeah. All right. Second card, we're going to go and look at Mars, or what is your ambitions, conflicts, limitations, imbalances, the things you struggle against. And this is the Fool in reverse. So if we look at our Fool upright, he's optimistic, he's ready to go. He's got his little dog urging him on. There's a certain amount of innocence, and with that, optimism. In reverse, we're looking at a Fool who is perhaps a little jaded. You know, coming out of this, you may be like, yeah, my expectations are managed, or maybe they're just low. And so perhaps the ambition that you had has been a little bit tempered by conflict, and as I said, jadedness. A Fool upright is a blank slate. This slate has been written on a little bit. All right, let's see where we go with this. Let's see where we go. All right. Third card, Venus, emotions and relationships. Yeah. 8 of Cups, moving on. And it may have been something that looked good on the surface, but underneath the surface, it really just wasn't right for you. And that's why you had to move on from it. Yeah. This was something that just was not a good fit. Maybe you married for the money and the money wasn't gonna cut the baloney. Or something equally disappointing. You thought you married for love and maybe it was a little one-sided. Or maybe you were in love with your assumptions, not with the truth. And that could go not just for relationships, but for a great many things. What you thought was there was not there. What you thought was going to be perfect was not. Wasn't even a good fit. Mercury, your mind and thoughts at this time. 5 of Swords in reverse. So upright, we could be dealing with humiliation or haughtiness, but in reverse, it might be meaning that somebody who did you wrong is getting their comeuppance. So a little bit of comeuppance there. So we've got a 5 here and a 5 here. And they both could be you. They both could be you. Let's see. Fifth card down, Jupiter, growth and goals. Six of Cups. Okay, so we're looking for something fresh, something new, something a little bit innocent, something a little bit caring, sharing, fresh, optimistic. Yeah, so this is a great growth goal, to be able to shed the jadedness, to be able to move on from the past, where either you or somebody else is kind of getting what you asked for, even if it's not really what you thought you wanted. Yeah, anyway. Can bend that around a few different ways. But yes, growth and goals, Six of Cups, fresh emotions, innocence, a little sense of equality in that, sense of fairness. Six is a very balanced number. It's right there in the middle of the tree of life if you note any of the Kabbalistic references to the tarot. It's this nice high point of balance. Yeah, looking for something balanced. All right, the moon. What is in the position of the moon for us today? And that is the Hanged Man. So, your intuition, your inner world says you're going to have to wait for something, and you could very well be right. Yeah, there's a certain inner confrontation here of you trying to clear out your karma. And that's a good thing to do. It's time to clear out. Time to do your inner fall cleaning. And if that means you got to hang out in something uncomfortable to purify yourself, then that's the way you go. That's what you need to do. All right. And the sun, the focus of life, the purpose, the center, the King of Pentacles. So you're focused on success, and that's a good way to focus. Success, accomplishment, achievement, putting your best foot forward, making yourself known in the world in a positive light. And that'll take a little time because you've got some stuff to get over, which is what you're doing here with this Hanged Man. Let's move some things out of the way here. Yes. The central focus is the King of Pentacles. Now, I do want to caution you with this King of Pentacles. While he is certainly a benevolent leader, and I think that's the way you're going since he's in the upright, don't let him get too big of a head on your shoulders there. Remember what you had to go through to get to this position. This isn't easy stuff that you're going through. Yep, you had to kick over some cups, you had to walk away from some stuff, and maybe you feel like you're getting your comeuppance, or somebody who did you wrong is getting that. But yeah, clearing out, and you're focused on what you want, which is something equal and fair and beautiful. And a high point of accomplishment here. Okay, so this is definitely a romantic reading because we've got a lot of cups going on in here. And cups are the emotions. They're the fluidity. And then, what's going on in the inside is certainly something that's, trying to clear itself, trying to clear out some of these emotions, trying to sort. And the bitter pill to swallow is over here with the swords. You only have one sword though, and that's good. But yeah, the Fool here. Yeah, the Fool is going to have to go through some Hanged Man time to really be able to clear itself out. You've got to give yourself a little bit of time. But make it focused time. Obviously, you're focused on some goals. You know what you want. But face those fears that you've had and release them. Release whatever guilt or shame or sadness, anger. Release those things. Release all those negative emotions that are causing you distress here. Release them here so that you can get here. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of difficulty going on there. A lot of difficulty. A lot of it's very wrapped up in your emotions, which are affecting your logic here. But the bright side, the hugely bright side about this is you know where you want to go, and it's a very positive place. You get some balance, you've got accomplishment, achievement. So I feel better about this reading, even though you're going through the business right now. You have goals that are beautiful goals for your emotional well-being, and you're doing the work, or you're embarking on the work here, or you will embark on the work to get to them. Or perhaps the moon is saying that this is the work you need to embark on. The moon itself, you know, as a tarot card, is about facing your fears. It's about doing that work. The Hanged Man is about doing that work of clearing out your mind. And it looks like he's very inactive, but mentally it's a very active time. All right. So, clear your thoughts. Take some time out. Rest your body, but engage your brain. And face those fears and those things that are just gross and ugly on the inside. And as you face them, they pop like little bubbles. And you will be able to move into this really beautiful Six of Cups, King of Pentacles kind of place that you're looking to get to. Yeah. Yeah. You can get here. You can get here. All right. So that is what the planets have to say today. I wish you all of the best in your journey as you clear out some of these negative emotions that have been plaguing you and you find the positive ones. All right. And this has been the Tarot Illuminati. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.